Hello and welcome to my second part in the text tutorial. I'm going to leave a link in the description of if you haven't got particular, then you can go to my other video which explains how to do the effect I'm achieving. But for now, let's get on with the tutorial. This is going to be a smoked effect. It's pretty cool and you need a third-party plugin, as I say, particular, and that will help the effect much. So let's get on with it. As I usually do, my work area is going to be called work, and as I always say, don't copy my settings. They're all poo and pants. It's just for the demonstration purposes only. It's not going to be for the final render. So now I've got my work area set out. So what I want to do now is, if you make sure everything's to your settings, so title safe area, I want that on, and also these are usually clicked on by default. Now I'll show you what it will do. It will make all your masks show up. So if you're wondering why my masks don't show up, it's because I clicked that to shut them off. I'll show you as I go along anyway. So you want to start a new solid, and again this is going to be your background layer. So we're going to again call it something simple, just like BG, which is going to be background. You're going to want a new composition and your text. Now if you've seen my first tutorial, you'll know how to actually do most of this, so I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to go again and do text because it's a tutorial, and we're going to move that just in the center so it's nice and hunky there. Now I can zoom in. Right, so again, you want to right click, you want to create mask from text, and then you're happy with that. Throw that text on the bottom, we'll use that later. Now from the text, go to effects, you want to go to generate, scroll down to it says stroke. Now you've seen why I've done it in my other video, but just in case you're new to this, it's a gap of 2 seconds basically, so I'm not going to go to all masks and then do it bit by bit. I'm going to make it neat as possible, so follow along if you would like it neat. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. Right, so for the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to end frame that, start the keyframe, sorry, and that obviously goes to 0. Now so far you can see all the text in the way. You want to go to your paint style and go on transparent, and you'll end up with nothing there. Now that's good. Now if you've got the lines, it's because by default, as I was saying earlier, so you just click that button and it turns it off. So from 0 I want to go to 2 seconds, so I know each one I want to do. So 2 seconds, and I'm going to ramp that up to 100. As I say, each letter's gonna be 2 seconds long to preview, so to render from start to finish it's going to be 2 seconds. Now what I'm going to do now is, to save time, as I usually show in my videos, is I'm going to put little stops, so then I'm not worrying where I am. It's going to be easier for me. So I know my default settings, it's 300, and then hit the star key, then it's 600, then I hit the star key, and you'll get used to this as I do, because I do it every time it's these default settings with anything I do. So 600, I want 900, and I'm going to hit the star key, and these are my little safety margins, so I can just run in there when I like, so I know where to start from. So now we've done the T, we're going to go on to the E. Now on the effects, you're going to notice that strokes underneath, so you don't need to go to generate, scroll all the way down. You can just go to here, which is usually Control plus Alter and Shift and E, but I'm just going to do it like that because it's faster. Now on this one, I'm going to want the E. As you notice on the paint style, it's on original image. That is absolutely fine. That's how I want it. It's not like the first one on transparent. This one needs to be on that, so that's fine. So if it's not set on that, just set on that, and you'll get a happy ending. Right, so I'm going to want to hit the keyframe, and I'm going to whack that to 0. And we're going to go 2 seconds ahead of 3, which would obviously be 5. and then we're going to whack this up to 100, which will give you the stroke as you go along again, so then you know. Right, now for the next one, so we close that off, and I want to effect again, so I want to go to stroke, and this time I want it on the X, and then it's going to be the same again. Hit the keyframe, you want it to start with 0, and you know from 6, obviously you plus 2, you've got 8, and then that's going to be whacked up to 100. If you notice, there's a second gap in between each one, and that's done intentionally. Right, now I want to go to here, and then this will be our final one. This will be the last T, so effect, stroke, and we're going to go to the end T, not the first T. Don't get muddled up with the first T if you're following along anyway, or if not, it's going to be your normal one on original image. Right, endpoint 0, and again 2 seconds from 9 would be 11, so we're going to go up to 1100, and I'm going to whack that to 100. Yep. Did I just do that right? Let me just check. Of course I did. Right, so now what we've got so far is, I'll do a RAM preview. Depends how long it will take. If it takes too long, I'll just cut it out. But while that's doing a RAM preview, I will say on my other videos, you can get PNG files, which means most of the time they've got see-through backgrounds. So whatever you're looking for, like a bush or whatever, a pen, blowtorch, whatever, you can usually get a see-through background. Now, that's what we're left with, which is pretty cool. If you see my first video, you'll know where we're going with this. So now I'm going to go to my project file, and I haven't got it on there, so I'm going to just drag it on there. Use my trusty pen, which, as I say, is a PNG image. Hopefully it will seem to want to be. Let me just do that again. Just drop and drag it on there. Oh yes it is, yes it is. There, it's done. Right, so I didn't need it twice. It's only because it's quite laggy. As I say, I've only got 18 gigabytes of RAM, and I'm recording in HD, so you can imagine the stress on it. That goes on the top layer. Now, without further ado, I've probably explained it. You press A for your anchor, and you want to get this little star. This is your anchor. You want that on the ball of your pen, so you can see where the pen middle is, because that's got that perfect light on there. And then we can go to the end just about there. I mean, I'm just going to rush it. I mean, you can get it spot on, but as I say, it's quite laggy, so it's hard to do precise. Now I'm going to hit the R, and that's going to give me the rotation tool. That's going to give me a little heads up, and hit rotation effects on there. So with that done, this is where we're going to save ourselves some time. With the pen, you're going to want to hit P. That's going to bring up your position. Now hit the key marker stopwatch. Now go to your text layer and you hit M. So from T, you on the mask path, you press Control C and it copies. Go to your position and you press Control V, making sure you're at the start of your composition settings, time should I say. Now I know where to go, because I put these handy points there, so I'm not working it out all mathematically, like where was my gaps. I know it starts at 3, so now I can go to E, Control C, go to position and Control V. Now I could fast forward this bit and show you, but this is all recorded in real time, so I can't. I'm not going to render it out basically, so I'm going to be recording in real time, and it saves me a lot of hours of rendering HD videos, so this is pretty cool. So anyway, X, Control C, I nearly pressed Control X then, and then Control V, and then I'm going to go to my next star point, and that's on 9, yep. And I want to go to my last, which is T, Control Copy, and then go up to position, and it's Control V. Now, if you haven't watched it, I'll show you it rendered out. Let's just press the E, which will collapse everything. If you press E on there, on each of your settings, it'll collapse it all neatly for you. Go to your start, and then you want to see how it looks. So let's press 0 on the keyboard side of things, on your number pad side. That's where most things work. So let's press 0 on there. And as I say, it's going to be laggy. I've only got 18 gigabytes of RAM, so it's quite slow. So I do send my apologies now. So much like the first video I've shown you, this is literally a mirror of what I've done. Maybe this one might be a bit better explanation, but there you go. I've got it right now, and it's looking pretty damn good. So I'm happy with that so far. So what we're going to do now, well, let's add some fun to this. If I just press 0 to stop the rendering. Now, with the keyframes on here, which was really cool, which I did anyway, which would have been on a position, and the rotation we're going to use later, but at least I've got the position keyframes all set up, which we done earlier, so we're not wasting time if we need to add something else. So for now, what we're going to do is you're going to right click, new, solid, and we're going to call this one effects, and this one's going to be purely for the effects, for the smoke effect. Now, as I said on the start of this video, this is for if you've got particular. If not, there may be other normal ones you can do on here to follow you along. But for now, this is for particular. So what you're going to want to do is in the search box, you're going to run a type. I think it's called smoke type. So it's SMOKETY. Is this even typing? My keyboard ain't typing out. Right. SMOKETYPE, and there it is, HD, smoke type HD. Now that's going to go on my effects and let that preset. Now, as you know, they always come with usually pre-keyed. These sort of effects come pre-keyed, and what I mean pre-keyed, if I press U, you can see the pre-keyed effect it's already got on there. Now I'm going to click it once, click it again to delete it, and then I'm going to do the same with the X and Y position. So press it once and press it twice. Now it's ready for me to play with. Now this is a good part. You can go to then your pen, you can go to your position. Now all you need to do again is Control C and then go to your position on this, which is your position XY, and you press Control V, and what that's going to do is put out the same path, which is going to be pretty cool. So now what I want to do though is on each of the start and stop points, I need the smoke to start and then stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 2 seconds. Let me go to 2 seconds, and on the particles per second, what I'm going to do is hit a keyframe on there and then go to one step afterwards, one frame afterwards, and then I want it to stop. I don't want no more particles to be burst out, because otherwise it's going to leave a nasty line. And then again we're going to go all the way along, and this one's going to be to 300. Let me just type it on here, because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the ass. As I say, it's slow rendering. And I'm going to do the same here. It's not going to be 0, that's going to be 200. And I'm going to just one before that, we want 0, just because. And let me just check if I've done that on here. So that goes there, goes along to there. Yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine. Now we know where the other keyframe was. Now we're on 5, I can hit that, and I want to go one keyframe after, and again that's going to be 0 because I want it to stop. If I'm going too fast, pause it and you'll see what I mean. It's only because I'm not rendering it out at the same time. So I do say sorry now. Right, I want to go to 600 now. I want to go to 6 seconds. And this one's going to be, again, another composition. And this one's going to be your 200. Because it's where you want to start it. So remember, my little arrows I did earlier are the start and then a stop. So I want to go one before that. And that's going to be your 0. And you can always tell when it changes its number as well. So then we're going to go to our next one, which is 8 seconds. And then I'm going to hit the keyframe. That's fine. And then we're going to go after. And then that's going to be your 0. So hopefully if you're following along, you get what I mean. Right. So now we're going to go to our 900. And then hit my keyframe for that. And that's going to be my 200. And one before that. When it starts, it's one before. When it's the end, it's one after. So it makes sense if you know what I mean. And plus, it changes there. So at 0, so one before, one after, one before. Now we're going to go to the end. So we're going to want to go to 11 seconds. Oh, sorry about that. I'm typing. I'm being silly. There we are. So you know that's the end. We want to hit the keyframes on 2, and like I said, 1 at the end. You add 1 at the end, which would be 0. Now, while you're in particular on this certain one, you want to go to particles per second, and sorry, I've absolutely spazzed it out then. Sorry, right. Now, live per second, what I want to do is I want that only to be about 1.5. I don't want it too mad, because it's going to reveal the text as we're going along. Right, so that's basically all what we're going to do. That was the total effect I'm giving. So what I'm going to do now is do a RAM preview, and as I say in most of my videos, I do hope you've enjoyed. And thank you for watching, and I'll show you the RAM preview. And sorry for the wait, it does take a while. As I say, it takes a while with my RAM, what I've got. So I'm going to press 0 now. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.